This post-match report is proudly brought to you by Complete Sports Management, more footy, less admin, and Stat Guru, when numbers matter.
Hello viewers, Dom here from Complete Sports Management here at Boroondara Reserve in North Boroondara. We've seen St Mary's in the under-15s defeat the Boroondara Hawks by 70 points. I'm here with their coach Paul Tobin and their player Jaden Collins. Paul, I thought the result, particularly after quarter time, was really positive. The Hawks really gave it to you guys in that first quarter, and it was 2 goals each. But then afterwards, you were able to keep them goals and score 11 goals yourself. What was your feeling of the game from the first quarter, and then obviously the last 3 quarters?
Yeah, I think they kicked with the wind in the first quarter, which gave them a bit of an advantage with it. And we were able to score a couple of goals into that breeze. Then after that, I think we really dominated the game. We were able to set up our back line really well. They pushed up the ground, and we kept getting repeat entries, which made the game really played on our terms and gave us a big advantage in those last 3 quarters.
Yeah, obviously, Jaden, you were a bit busy in that first quarter with the Hawks keeping you honest, but you were able to eventually grind it out in the last 3 quarters. What were your thoughts on your game?
I thought I positioned myself really well, and I was able to take some good marks, and I thought it was a good game by the fellas. Yeah,
awesome. So I've spoken to you a lot about Julian Tanasio and Tim Todd because they start again today. But I've thought that Charles Stevens played a really good game today. He really stood up, particularly in that second half. And the past month he's been pretty consistent. So, what are your thoughts on his development so far?
Yeah, Charlie got injured early in the year, and he's finally got over those injuries. So his last month's been terrific. He's back to the form that we know he can play. So I think with him in the side and Jaden as well, setting up the back line, we can move forward for the next couple of weeks with that. So I was saying before, we're going to miss Jaden next week with him going to WA for the schoolboys thing. So that's going to be a big loss for our side. But I think we've got enough people with Charlie, etc. They're playing well that we can fill that gap.
Yeah, you touched on the next couple of weeks coming up. We've got 3 games left until the end of the season. I think you're only a couple of games out for finals, barring results of this season. So what would be your strategy going into these last 3 games?
Well, I think if we win all 3 games, we can put ourselves in there with a chance if the scores go our way. So we do rely on other sides continually winning with it, but we're starting to move the ball better. And if we can keep doing that and putting a score on the board, we can pressure some of these sides above us, and they'll be looking to see where we're coming from. Yeah,
Jaden, obviously you won't be able to play next week, but what would be your inputs for the last 2 weeks after that for St Mary's?
I don't know.
Just win some games?
Yeah, I guess.
Hopefully get a chance
get
to
a
the finals.
percentage up, win by a lot, and hopefully push for that top 4.
That's the ultimate goal, and hopefully you guys get there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yep. Well, thank you for your time, Paul, and thank you, Jane. Good luck next week, and I'll see you next week for our next interview.
Thanks, Dolphin.
I'll pass it over to Akshay with the Boroondara Hawks interview.
Thanks, Dom. I'm here with the coach of the Boroondara Hawks, Alex Townsend. How do you guys think you went?
I think for the first 3 quarters or so we were pretty good, then just dropped off a little bit in that last quarter and let them run over the top of us.
You kicked 2 goals in the first quarter, and that was your only 2 goals for the game. At that time, you were up by 1 point, and then you only kicked 6 behinds for the rest of the game. What happened there?
I think even with the first 2 goals in the first quarter, we were shooting from quite low percentage areas. We couldn't quite get into the spots we wanted to kick them from. So we're pretty much kicking from either pockets or a bit too far out, which played a part in that.
And then I think you worked well to get the ball out of your 50. Past couple of weeks you've been struggling to get it past the 50 mark. This time you were able to, but you struggled at the centre. Trying to find some targets in your forward half of the ground. Was there a plan that you tried to bring in throughout the game?
It's a bit hard because we're a pretty small team, so we don't have that big target down the line. Yeah. We had Finn O'Connell as the centre forward for most of the game for us, who was worked really hard as that option. We just couldn't get it down to him most of the time.
Struggled to find the ball to him. So you had obviously St Mary's would have had people on him constantly.
Yeah, no, we're wary of that. It's just even our skill areas, really let us down. Our kicking's probably not the best in the comp, so we just try to keep it simple, but sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, you're talking about kicking. Wasn't that good? A lot of you went from kicking to the opposition, kind of turnovers that way that led into St. Mary's kicking goals and all that. I think as soon as the ball was brought onto ground, you struggled there to get effective disposal. Is there something you can improve on for next week, coming with 3 games to go?
Yeah, I think, especially our fitness and and skill areas can definitely improve. I think over the school holidays, a lot of the boys have been in their anemones for most of that time. Yeah. So definitely fitness is going to be worked on, and then also our skills. I think we can always work on them. They're not that great.
One last thing about this game, Tim Todd for St. Mary's absolutely blew you guys out of the game. I think 30 disposals gained this week. He always seems to have these kind of games. Did you have a plan for him?
Yeah, well, we in the first game, first time around, he killed us especially. So we had a couple of boys just try and run and negate his influence. I think I think that worked well. He didn't have as much of an impact as he did in the first game. Obviously played all right, but I think a lot of that was in the cold face of the contest. And I think really curbed his influence there.
That's all here from Boroondara Reserve. We'll see you next week.
This has been another Complete Sports Management production.